everyone, it's Stephanie here. You're watching Raw. We're live. This is transgender talk, discussion, makeup, all of that kind of stuff. Stuff I think we need to talk about within our community and all of that. Everything's kind of last minute today. Of course, I work off the hoof. Antoinette is my guest today, and we're going to be talking while I do her makeup. So you can get to know her a little bit more and what's going on in the world and her side of everything, because I know she thinks I'm a batshit crazy bitch for being somewhat conservative and the way I look at things. So where she's more of, I won't say she's extreme, but she's way more hippie outlook on life. Some of that may be because she was raised in California, where all the fruits and nuts are. Anyway, we're good friends. She works in my show, My Oh My. So we're just gonna talk, and I'm gonna do her makeup. Of course, the bitch came in with somewhat of a face on, but that's good. I wanted to talk about all of that anyway. So hi, Antoinette.
Hello,
how are
how you
you?
doing?
So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, as Steph said, I'm actually from Southern California, so yeah, I'm that hippy dippy bitch. So yeah, that's basically about it, really. And I've been doing drag now for 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Okay,
but
so
anyway, beside the point. But anyway,
let me pull off.
Yes,
this.
makeup. Yeah.
This is straight up vitamin E oil.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for all of you that are worrying about lines and bags, we're both seniors. I'm older than her, but she lived probably more of an outdoor life than I did, to put it mildly.
That's true.
But anyway, tell us, you're in the process of transitioning.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I've been on the actual path now, if you want to call it that, for it will be 4 years. Oh, it's a little over 3.5 years now.
Okay, so my question to you, sister,
yes.
and we're putting it all out there, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
And I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm asking questions because there's a lot of questions people have about us.
True.
And they want to know, so you just answer, and if I get offended, just go, bitch, back the fuck up, okay? And
okay.
I'll close your eye. Let me just get your eyeliner
off.
I like the blue, the electric blue you do. Yeah. It's pretty. So you're Italian?
Part Italiano.
Are you part Jewish too?
No, I was raised in a Jewish neighborhood.
That was it.
My mother married in.
What kind of lipstick did you put on, bitch? This shit doesn't look to come off. Is that your phone? Do you need to get that? Like I said, this is all live.
Let's see what it is.
It's the authentic shit. Is it Trey, girl?
Is it my mother?
Hello, tell her hi.
Hey, Mom, can I give you a call back in a little bit? Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I was worried about you.
No worries, no worries.
Mom.
Yes, we're live on the air right now. So, anyway.
Why don't you call me when you get through?
Okay, Mom. Love you. Okay, bye.
And there goes my phone, of course. Let's see who this is. Oh,
it's
this
live.
is. It's just you can't get more live than this. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I am right now live on YouTube doing someone's makeup. Can I help you? We do. If you go to my website, into the lookingglass.co, you can book a service. And once the services pop up, it's called Hotel Makeover. And if you have any more questions, I'll be done with her in about 15, 20 minutes if you want to call back then. Okay. Thank you. It never fails when I'm trying to, and I'm running late and everything. Okay, so you've been on this journey.
Yeah.
When did you, before I jump ahead of myself and stuff, I'm going to tell them what I'm doing here. So we're wiping everything down. I am using vitamin E oil, which is really good.
Yeah.
What acts as a natural Botox, which I've used for years, is almond oil. And that's why at my age, I have lines, but and I'll get up and see, I don't know what you can see with these dim lights. I didn't turn them up that much, but I have lines and stuff. But I've taken good care of my skin. And people are always like, your skin looks so much smoother on camera and on stage than when I see you in person. Well, when I'm on camera, I wear less. When I'm on stage, I wear more,
Right.
and I wear a really great primer. So you have something going on here
Mhm.
that a lot of people have, and that's the really dark circles. Let me get some of this stuff over here.
Yeah, I think it's genetic. No, it's not. I know. I'm kidding.
No, I mean everyone thinks that. So
It's
everyone thinks that.
it's a little dehydration and allergies.
It's a lot of dehydration, and it's also not enough sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is, and I'm just wiping the surface of your makeup off. I'm not going deep with it because you haven't had it on very long anyway.
Mhm.
But this is more for demonstration. So if you start using the almond oil, it does help with dark circles. So what I don't get the dark circles. I get from age. Some of it's from age. Some of it is just the way it is. But I get this deep line, and I have high cheekbones. But as we get older, we get more hollowed out.
Right.
And not only do you have that, but you also you have the dark circles. So we're going to deal with all of that today. And this is just a little water to.
No, gotcha.
So I like makeup, but I love the natural stuff. And this isn't going to get it all the way off without completely washing your face.
Yeah.
But it's going to help.
It's definitely helping. Feels good.
Yeah, it does. This is fun. So anyway,
Yeah.
You have been transitioning for 3 years.
Right.
So before I jump in and ask a bunch of hateful questions about your transition, and some people are like, "Oh, that's too personal." Get the fuck over it, Queens.
Right.
You all have questions. You all want to know. So we're jumping in there.
Right.
First of all, what made you transition? Because transition starts on the inside, works its way out. But I believe everything in life is about choice. I noticed I didn't say unhappy or happy. I said choice. And transition, especially to start doing the outside.
Right.
When did you come to realize what you are, and when did you first started transitioning? What caused that?
A lot of questioning myself, finding out what was inside myself. So it's not how I'm feeling so much. It was just, okay, this is not who I believe I am. So yes, I did have a.
Well, what does that mean? Okay, so for my people out there that are extremely conservative, and a lot of Christians watch me because I come from a strict Catholic family, but a very diverse Christian family with all different types, from Catholic to Baptist to Pentecostal, all of that.
I was raised as a Baptist.
Okay, and you know the difference between Baptist and Southern Baptist?
Yes, I was raised as a Southern Baptist.
Okay, you know the difference between the two? What's the difference?
One doesn't like dancing. No kidding.
Well, no, kind of. They both don't like dancing.
Yeah.
But the real thing was, and they haven't taken this off the books.
Yeah.
Southern Baptist was pro-slavery.
That's true.
Baptist was not slavery. It's still on their books.
Yeah.
That's why you see more African Americans as Baptists, and you don't see them as Southern Baptists, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, so explain, what do you mean? Because there's a couple of things out there that we girls say. I hate that term, we girls, we women, because I'm not fucking 16 years old.
Not the fucking princess.
Right, nowhere near a princess bitch for those ones. Anyway, I don't like the expression where they're like, well, I didn't feel like myself, or I want to feel like a woman. Well, how do you know what a woman feels like? How do you know you're not feeling like yourself? These are your feelings. So how is that not yourself? So explain all of this.
Ooh.
It's deep.
That's deep. I don't know how far I can go, but
as far as you can.
Yeah. Always kind of the misfit, really. With just not going into a bunch of bullshit about my past, because it's a bunch of bullshit. But
no, anyway. It's all relative. You don't have to go into it, but our past helps what makes us today.
Right. A lot of basically being my attitudes about things, how I carried myself, was always more on the feminine.
And what does that mean? What do you mean it's been more on the explain? Because my straight friends out there
Right.
don't understand this.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make it simple for them.
Okay.
So they can see our side.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't that rough and tumble person. And I was relatively a little more calm as I got older. It got worse. I mean, it got worse to the point that I started losing my temper more. But anyway, it's because I was frustrated with life and so on.
Okay. So you didn't fit into the typical male role.
Male role ever.
But
yeah,
this is the devil question of it.
Right.
But how's that make you a woman? How's that make you like a girl? Just because you didn't fit into that role.
Yeah, and I didn't.
How do you go from being this boy where you didn't really feel like you fit in,
right,
to associating that being a girl or a woman that at your age?
That's right. It's just a woman. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And it took you how many years?
58.
Okay, 58 years.
58
And you're
years.
how old now?
61.
Okay.
Soon to be 62.
So can you answer that? I'm just asking a bunch of questions that they all ask.
It's a tough question.
And then they get mad. Our side sometimes gets mad at these people for asking, thinking that we're trying to catfish them, when they're really wanting to know.
Yeah.
That they're trying to understand it.
Right. It was, I would say society-wise, I wasn't quite
Open.
Okay. I wasn't quite there. I was always looked down upon for.
And it was different back then. It's not like it's today where they can dress up like a cat and go cry in a fucking corner and say, "You said something wrong to me and my life's falling apart."
And you can use the cat box. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It was different.
It was later, and you had to kind of keep it quiet. I mean, it was just you kept it quiet. You kept it how you felt about things.
So what I'm using now, it's a heavy duty vitamin that's going underneath your eyes that reflects. That also helps lift a little.
Yeah, so it's a lifting.
It's a little bit of a lifting, but it's more about the vitamins you're needing for those dark circles. Right. So, and I'm going to let this dry a little bit. And I don't know if they can see from there or not, but it does have like a bit of a sheen.
Yeah.
There is no nylon. A lot of times when you see sheen in skincare products, they put nylon in it.
Ew.
But this doesn't have it. Yeah, people don't even realize that. Yeah. That's why I like more natural. This is vitamin. Let me tell you, it is vitamin A, D, C, and E.
So society kind of really played a huge role in that. And then, the usual teasing because I wasn't rough and tumble, whatever the fuck it was. I don't care. I'm to that point. It took me all these years to get through the layers of it all.
So how did you end up associating that with you wanting to be a woman just because you didn't fit in with men? Because you were married?
3 times.
And you had kids, and you were married 3 times, and you have kids. How do you go from that to this?
Oh, okay. Well, that actually goes back to the first marriage, really.
Okay.
I was trying to prove to the world because I didn't even know who the fuck I was back in the day. Here's supposedly a straight boy in a dance department for low, and I was fighting a lot of it basically, and I wanted to prove. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved my first wife, still do, even though we're divorced. I have a beautiful child out of it. But I married for the wrong reasons. I wanted to prove to the world and to myself that I was quote unquote normal, trying to fit into the norm. And I never really fit in because I never felt the way I think masculinity would have ever put me into. I didn't feel that. It just seemed to be, it was just a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of just this stupid ass competition, one out bettering the other, which is fine. Competition is fine, but that's not life.
But dude, not all men.
No.
Not all men
true.
Are that masculine, beat you up, drinking, and let's punch type of thing. There are some men out there that are extremely artistic, some that are extremely musical, a lot that have a softer side.
Yeah.
So how did that
I was raised, though.
How did that go? Because you were raised that men were supposed to be rough and tough and all of that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I think.
So you, in other words, what they used to call us on the playground, don't be a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And like
wuss,
Betty White said, why are they going to call you a
wuss.
wuss or a pussy? Because that can take a beating. A balls can't.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I was coming up. I was like, wait a second. I started thinking about that or whatever. There was just a lot of things. It's kind of hard, but I was trying to fit in. I just didn't know who the fuck I was. And I think that was it.
Do you know who you are now?
Yes.
And who is that?
Well, first of all, Antoinette, my real name, the way
Okay.
it should have been called. But the fact is I've always knew deep inside, I would even have to say at the soul level, that I was always more feminine. I always knew that. I always knew that was a part of who I was.
But isn't
That's
that a part? And I'm just throwing things out there.
Right.
But all males and females have both of that in them.
Right.
The animus. We all have.
I don't know.
All men have some femininity in them. All women have some masculinity in them.
Very
Some
true.
are a little more than others.
Right.
But so my question is,
Okay.
and this is, and I know these sounds like really odd, mean questions, and they're not.
me.
I'm trying to get like my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, that those type of people.
yeah.
The worst thing you can do with Hicks is they discover oil under land and become rich.
Bitch.
And don't understand the rest of everything.
Yeah.
But no, they're trying. I mean, some people are naturally accepted,
Mhm.
even if they don't go get body work done, and some aren't.
Right.
Because of the way they act, or maybe because of the way they look. Because sad, the whole this is primer, and this is a little bit of a pinky primer. And it just helps the makeup stay on better, smooth out your skin. So this is what I use when I go on stage, or especially if I'm on camera.
Right.
My everyday today, I don't. I just use I use the CoverGirl. Their clean makeup. It's like a dot, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, so a lot of things within the trans community
Right.
is based on feeling and on looks.
Right.
So, and I'm just putting it out there because
Right,
there's going to
right.
be a lot of
Oh,
girls
hell
out
yeah.
here with a lot of questions,
Right.
going, "Oh no, Miss Saying you can't," and a lot of people will totally look at things differently than the way I'm looking. I'm just going by my years of experience
Right.
and what I've been through. So it's just, and to help
And it's
these younger girls
Right. I get it.
get through things easier.
Right.
So, I forgot that's the old lady in me. I'm going to put just a little more through here.
Yeah. Got it.
Because this is a little color corrector.
Yeah.
So, okay. And there's so many questions. I want
I know.
your opinion and want
Okay.
you to ask. Let's just set for like a minute.
Okay.
But you see what that's already doing to your
Yeah.
skin. I don't know if they can see it on camera, but you see those dark circles. We're
Starting to go away. Yeah.
we're going to correct those here in a minute. So let's just jump to it. Do you think you can take a male? And I'm leaving children out of this. I'm dead set against transitioning anyone under the age of 18. I'm not talking about just putting clothing on them. I'm talking about the medical end and the testosterone
That's right,
blockers.
that's right.
I'm against that. If some little boy wants to put a little dress on and go to school, well, either the kids are going to accept that or they're not going to accept it, and he'll learn.
Right.
Do you think you can take a male and turn it into a female? And if you think that's true, what is it that makes someone without that vagina a female?
Oh, that's a tough question.
It's really
That's a
not.
it's
I don't think it is, but maybe it is with your ideology.
with my ideology, yeah. But then again, I don't really look at everything as I look pretty much everything as a spectrum. So either
You do, and you're pretty. You're not as far left as
You're not,
You're left,
I'm
but you're not
I'm
as
that
far left.
right.
I mean, you, and I think some of that's come with your age and living.
Yeah. And also moving in different places and seeing other people, in other things.
Right.
But well, if you really want to know, yes, in the cases to match my insides to my outsides, yes, it was a decision. So yes, I'll admit that. Oh God, I got to really think about that one for a second. Give me a minute.
Just think about it,
Yeah.
because to some people that's an extremely
I chose it. That
tough
was-
question. Well, everything in life's about
By
choice,
choice, yeah.
especially the way we were raised.
Right. I mean, it was either you only had two methods, and that was about it. And I don't see it.
And that's why I believe up until like 2003, they looked at someone that had gender dysphoria as a mental case, and they dropped it. There, if you go back, you remember when we were kids, there were two twins, and they were born.
Yeah,
they were. One of them was born intersex, and intersex, you're still a male or female. It's just maybe no, you don't have both. You both is hermaphrodite.
That's true.
But intersex is your penis is born too small, maybe your testicles didn't drop, or your clitoris, but it was born really big and it looks like a penis, and you didn't, and they couldn't tell. And back in those days, they wouldn't even tell the parents. Well, long story short, they transitioned this one kid, this doctor, who actually was one of the ones that helped found the gay movement and the transgender movement. Odd. So they transitioned him. He never felt right. His parents finally told him, and he started transitioning back in his late teens, early 20s. It did not work. It was like nurture versus nature was like the big argument in the 60s and 70s with this. And he ended up, long story short, I know I'm going on and on. He ended up killing himself. And he had spoke before Congress about how bad all of this was and where he didn't fit in and all of that. There are actual people like that. And maybe he would have become more what, let's say, people go, oh, you can't do that. Define normal. Well, normal is what the majority of the people are or do. So if the majority of the people jump off a bridge at 19 and you don't, then you're not normal because the majority of them did. It has nothing to do with right or wrong. I'm trying to find this yellow color. Go on and talk for a second.
Okay. Hey, she's gonna give me carte blanche. No. For a few seconds because she knows I can ramble on ever. Yes, we both can actually. So, yeah, so yes, it was a choice to come to be on this side. Why is, like I said, trying to match the inside with the outside. It wasn't so much of a feeling; it was more of a knowing, and partially kind of an experiment to some degree in the beginning, just seeing if it was possible. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one, but it was more like, let's see what I can do this way. And I like this better.
Okay.
It works better for me.
Okay.
It doesn't make me less of anybody else. It just
no, it doesn't. So okay, so back to the original thing. Back to the original thing.
Yeah.
So do you believe you can take a male and turn that male into a female? And the ones I hear calling themselves female aren't even the ones who've gotten the bottom surgery. It's all the ones who don't have the bottom surgery.
Which I did not have.
Which is the attitude within the transgender world since the 70s, even within the gay community, has totally changed. Like they're talking about these men right now. I'm letting that set just a little longer. You need to come in for a facial. You're getting a couple of little breakouts through there.
Yeah, well, that's soon. Next week.
Back in the day, if a trans, full body work done, but no vagina, still had her penis. If she went to prison, she knew she was going to the male prison.
Right.
And we used to call it, back in the day, the girls would call it taking a vacation because they were literally the queens on the block. They basically made their way. The men kind of fell all over at least the girls I know that went, and I knew one that went for murder, and she finally got out because of a judge she used to fuck around with. Did she commit the murder? Yes. But it was self-defense. And in Louisiana, they really looked, and they never called us ma'am or miss or any of that. And a lot of girls back then, of course, didn't have their names legally changed. And the ones of us that did, they wouldn't allow us to put wouldn't allow us to put female on the ID. I agree with President Trump and I disagree with President Trump. I personally think that you can't take a male and turn it into an actual real female. There's too many differences. But it is a post-operative transsexual, meaning it's become a transsexual female.
Right.
It's not a natural born female. That's if you get the vagina, even though it's all plastic surgery. And I'm okay with that because even though you can't be exactly what you want to be, if you can come close to it, I'm happy with that.
I think I'm happy with that myself. I know it's not.
So
gonna
now
actually
they have these guys that are going into the male prisons that said that they were transgender and they look like a bunch of men, and they've raped and gotten several female inmates pregnant. And maybe they need to make a separate area for the trans people and all of that. But
Too
a
much
lot of
money.
people are trying to hide behind that
Yeah.
transgender umbrella that are nothing more than hardcore men.
Right.
And
True.
it's messing everything up for the actual transsexuals. Now,
because they found a loophole.
old school
Yeah.
was, and this isn't the way so many think today. And if you go back and look in the 70s, I need to get to working on you because I just talk and talk and talk and
That's
talk.
okay.
I'm gonna do a little bit of this. This has a little bit of yellow in it.
That would clean up the lower eyes.
So in old school, back in the day when I was young, people were called transvestites. It didn't matter
Right.
if you were trans or whatever.
Right.
Well, the actual trans women didn't like that, so they and it switched over to CD, to cross-dressing.
Right.
Well, they didn't like that because the guys who were actually transvestites, close your eye, started calling themselves CDs. So immediately, late 70s, early 80s, the trans women started calling themselves T-girls. Well,
Right.
the cross-dressers who were, they thought that their femininity wasn't being taken serious, and they want, and I understand this. I see both sides to this. They started calling themselves T-girls. By the late 80s, really the early 90s to mid 90s, a lot of the trans women, up to the 2000s especially, started calling themselves trans. Well, what happens? A bunch of dressers started calling themselves trans.
Exactly.
And they believe that they can be trans without having any body work. Now, in the old days, to be trans wasn't just the way you felt, but it was also defined by your body work, not just because you took a little bit of hormone. And
Right.
honestly, males and females start to look alike as they get older because females,
That's very true.
yeah, they lose their estrogen, and males lose their testosterone. So I kind of look at it as a cake mix. I'm pretty happy with who and what I am, and I don't care about what other people think about me,
Right.
other than people I really super love. I want their respect, but I think sometimes we care too much about stranger things. Let me
Right.
see.
And I think it's also.
And you can see, I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry.
This is much smoother under your eye.
Wow. Yeah,
And I need to go heavier with it.
Yeah, because I'm dark.
Because you're dark, but we're going to do some other things. This does, like I said, have a little bit of yellow, but your shadow there is, unless we really pile it on for camera, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. So the way you do this is, so you'll know, so you do it on the outside of the line,
Right.
and then you kind of use a small brush to do it, and then you tap it in, bring it up around your nose. It also helps contour your nose a little.
Okay.
So I just
Thank
want
you
you to
for the
see
tip
that.
of-
This is going to need to set a minute because you have the oils on you, which helps reflect. But this is more of what I'm doing, a natural highlight instead of that really dark highlight. I mean, light, almost white highlight that so many people do. And then I'm doing that a little bit through your lines through there too.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then up through here. Because, okay, so, where were we? You remember where we were?
You were saying that from the history point of view.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So from the history point of view,
Right.
that's how everything
so on, right?
evolved.
Right.
So my question to you, and this is hateful, and I'm just letting you know it's hateful, and it has nothing to do with the way I actually look at you. It's just a question that my straight friends have asked, trying to figure all of this out, because I'm like, you know what? Most of us don't know.
Yeah.
We're just going by our feeling and all that. But you have had no body work done. You've had no electrolysis, and
So
you're fighting that.
Right.
But 3 years.
It's not fighting. It's just don't have the
You
I'm working on
You're
it.
fighting that hair, honey.
Yeah,
You're getting up and you need to shave. in the old days we would wax or zip wax, and I did electrolysis and laser. Oh my God, that hurt. It was a fucking nightmare. But I did it. That's part of the outwardly transition, because real transition starts on the inside.
Right.
So what makes you trans other than the way you feel? It's a legitimate question.
That's a legitimate
It's
question.
a hateful question,
Yeah.
but it's a truthful question
Mhm.
that I've had straight people ask me. I can open up my blouse, show my titties, let them feel my face, and because I've been off hormones for years.
Right.
I'm not really. If you want to do hormones, great, but you really need to know what's going on with them. And we're going to bring that up here in a second,
Right,
because
because
I
you
saw
know
what you
my-
put up online earlier today.
Yeah.
So, what is it that makes you, other than the way you feel, what makes you trans? And that's a hateful,
That's a hateful,
deep question.
That's a hateful, deep question. Oh God. To be honest, I don't think I can answer that. I mean, without going into some stupid.
Well, no, we
Yeah.
these straight people
Yeah, right.
that are my friends that I'm trying to get
Right,
them
see,
to
right,
understand us, not just me, but just in general, where we're coming from.
Right.
What is it that makes you trans other than the way you feel? Because you haven't had any body work done.
No.
You still have a beard.
True, which I can't stand.
It has nothing to do with wearing wigs or high heels or
Right.
putting makeup on or any
Right.
of that. What is it that makes you trans other than the way you feel? And if you feel a certain way, according to transgender ideology, you are that way, right? That's
Right.
what they teach.
Right.
So if I feel like I've murdered someone, even if I've never murdered anyone, and I know people hate that analogy, but it's the truth, does that make me a murderer?
That's a good point.
It's like, what is racism? Is racism someone that would never use those, those horrible words, but would never stop along the highway to help someone that was different than them, or someone that would use those horrible words but had compassion and would stop to help people alongside the road that wasn't like them? Which one's the real racist there? So it's the
Good
same
point.
kind of question. It's a deep question.
It's a deep question. Oh,
Hold up your neck. And oh, by the way, this foundation, I sell it in my store. It's a one-step cover. It does a little bit of color correcting, has a little bit of a concealer in it, but you can make it as thick or as light as you want.
wow. Okay. Good.
I like using this with my hands like this. Sometimes I use a
Hands
brush.
are your best pull, too.
I can get more coverage.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it comes out smooth.
Still thinking about the question here. Outside of feeling, wow. I can't just say it is what it is, because it is, but at the same time,
But that goes back to feeling.
it goes back to feeling.
So what physically makes you?
Somebody who's trans.
Because I know people that fall into the category, and it's maybe a little bit of what's the word? Hermaphroditism. I think that's a word. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, especially like with guys who ended up with male gynelobrium at an early age because they entered puberty early. I was one of those. Did that make me trans? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I liked all the girly things and related to girls better, and the guys treated me like a girl. My mother pulled her hair out, but then I got to a certain age.
That's almost the same point that went.
I got to a certain age, and I wasn't like that. I played soccer. I did all of that, but I wasn't like the other guys either.
Right.
And so this all goes back to feeling. But then I had some physical things, and I know a lot of girls that had physical things before they started doing hormones. Like when I was in high school, I was a full C cup, and then had surgery to remove the core and everything. And I've always wondered if, because I had that hormone imbalance, if this played a part of it. But I know the sex I have with men would be homosexual, and the sex I have with females would be heterosexual.
Right.
So, and I know people like to separate your sexuality from your gender. They look at that totally different.
Yeah, one is above the neck, one's below the neck.
That's what they say.
No.
But, you know.
But it's all interconnected. That's the point.
It's all
Yeah,
exactly.
you know, and well,
I mean, I know a lot of gay men that are gay men because they were told they were gay their whole life, and then they get 40 or 50 and they have their first piece of pussy and go, what the fuck? I've been missing out on stuff. And they love it. And they end up becoming more bisexual, even though they like the animalistic sex with the men, but they love the other stuff that you only get with a male and female.
right.
And then I know guys that love trans women, but sad to say, most of them treat us like dudes in bed. And half of the men out there that chase us want to be fucked up their ass, and it goes against everything that I look at us as.
And yet they still keep that kind of as the dirty little secret.
Well,
too.
sometimes they do. They're more out now with it than they used
they
to.
are.
But okay, so you can see what that's done
Yeah.
to you. See, it's and I'm going to put a little more, but see, you have less lines.
Yeah, less lines I can see
around there, and you still have a little bit of that deep circle, but it's softer than what it was. So let me.
So yeah, getting back to this.
I told you this was going to be a deep show.
Yeah,
today.
I know. You just said it was going to make me cry. I'm going, oh, okay, that's a challenge, you know. But but the thing is that how do I know? The question is, how do we know anything? I mean, I'm kind of going.
That's a good point.
And I'm just saying. So how do we really know?
That's a
That's
good
kind of-
point.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I think part of the problem with society is religion.
Right.
And they put everything on this God that I don't believe in. I believe in something higher than this God now. And if you go and read about the Gnostics,
you and I are on the same boat on this one.
It makes a little bit more sense. And I'm not even saying that's all true, but
No.
I'm just saying that's a lot more believable.
Right.
Then okay, so I'm going in with a little bit of a concealer now.
Right. Okay.
Not much.
And so yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying everything's kind of more respected. So how do we really know? I mean, we take a lot of faith in the unknown when we have no idea what.
To me, it's kind of like when you love someone, you know, take away the lust, and you just want to be around that person.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of the same way with transgender stuff. Now,
on
the flip side,
yeah, here we go.
You may feel that way, but there's some monsters out there.
Oh yeah.
Everyone as an adult has a right to do what they want, but be honest and look in the mirror and go, okay, I'm 5'9", a 38 double D. My weight's always been up and down. I'm bigger than the females out there.
Yeah.
But then I see girls way bigger than me trying to be, you know, and now the term people that are polite don't say a lot. What they do is they go, hello, ladies, you know, that long drag out. And it's very condescending.
Yeah.
But at least they're trying to show a little something.
Right.
Okay, so you really need to start using some almond oil or crushing up bay leaves and making a mixture, because that's like a natural Botox too that will help
I know where I can get
all of this.
I know where I can get
Yeah, you can go to the witch store and everything.
Yeah, you know. You knew, huh?
Yeah. Okay, look in the mirror. Let me see that. See, you're glowing too.
Yeah, I'm glowing.
We'll zoom in on the camera here in a little bit.
I like it.
I am going to put a tad bit of powder on you.
Okay.
But not a lot.
Yeah.
Because
with the banana stuff.
No, this isn't banana.
The banana stuff works really well.
Well, that's a good highlighter.
Yeah.
So anyway, to get back to what we were talking about, because this goes deep. It really does go deep. And it's stuff I think within our community we kind of need to talk about, because there's so many people saying they're trans, and like Dylan Mulvaney. He looks good. He looks decent, but he's a gay man that wanted to be a star and attention. That's my opinion. And then you have that fucking nasty ass bitch, Lily Tino, that I discovered not long time ago that is hurting trans women. She's calling herself trans. You see her 5 o'clock shadow coming through.
Oh, I know who
she
you're
just
talking
had
about.
feminization surgery that you can't tell that's been feminized.
Right.
She still acts like a man, and she's just trying to make money off of all of us.
Which is horrible with the community, which tears us apart even more.
It does, because it confuses
a lot of people on the outside.
It confuses what we really are.
Right.
There used to be a standard about you had to go through certain things, and then the girls didn't necessarily like doing that that couldn't.
The quote unquote passable shit.
Well, nothing's passable
Nothing's
anymore.
passable
Thank you, Bruce
anymore.
Jenner.
Yeah, tell me.
Nothing's really passable. It's just presentable.
Right.
Because they know who and what we are anymore. And a lot of guys don't care anymore. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming across more as a natural highlight.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to get a chair. I'm sorry.
Go get a chair.
A lot of people out there know that I'm dealing with kidney issues. And once I stand a while, it just hurts. So now you get to see me. Hey. What do I need to ask her? Oh, I can't see that. Let me see. Where did my glasses go? Damn it. And this is going on longer than I anticipated all of this to go. Okay, good morning. Wow.
I don't even know where my glasses are.
Okay. Yes, I'm very single. Is that George that was asking that? I'm very, very, very single. So I don't believe in the non-binary crap, but I say make up your mind. But I do think certain things are kind of non-binary, meaning that love is love. It doesn't matter. Right. And lust is lust too.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's only one part of love. That's
I think someone needs to be in lust and like you, and then love follows. That's my opinion of it.
I agree with that.
And you want someone equal, not because he can completely support you. However,
yeah,
let me talk about this dating thing.
Go for it, because I don't date.
No, you masturbate a lot.
Not anymore.
You do, okay. Yeah. Before I get into that, so you were talking online today about depression is a real thing. It is. I've gone through that a lot my whole life. However, what I've noticed is most of the depression that we girls go through is called the moan blues, the hormones.
The hormone blues.
Cause it because we're getting the side effects that females don't get.
Right.
That some of that we look at as good, but in the long run,
it isn't.
It isn't, and it breaks down your body. So my question for you is, why did you start hormones before you got beard removal?
I'll be honest, I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. And
did someone tell you that?
No, I came.
Is that all the shit you see online?
No, actually, I actually was looking. It's good. I'm glad you asked this question. This is going. I saw the BS online, but I'm like, how true is this? And quite frankly, so I saw the pros and cons. I took 6 months to figure it out if I really wanted to go on or not, and that was the whole thing. And so I just said, okay, I see the pros, I see the cons. I know because of my age, I know it's also could be a little more prone to cancer.
Not a little, a lot for any age.
I was being nice when I said that. So, and I just said, okay, I can deal with that. And that's when I finally decided to do it. Not because I was convinced of it. I had to go through my own reason. And it took me 6 months to figure it out. Does the
hormones, I hear this from girls, they think that it makes them more feminine. But if you don't already have those feminine characteristics, it doesn't do anything. No. Yeah, it can soften up your skin. It's more for a look, but you can get that same look with plastic surgery. In the long run, it's cheaper and healthier than this. Do you regret doing hormones? Because you're still doing them.
Yeah.
And that's why you get depressed quite a bit.
Right. And I have noticed that. And even though I figured it was going to be in the front when I started.
So if you look in the mirror, see how that's taken that away a little bit.
So, and I've noticed it's been worse as I went along.
It does.
And I thought it was going to be like, more of it in the beginning and I'll just get over it. I'm questioning it now.
You're going through puberty the whole time you're on hormones.
Yeah, that
you're
sucks.
Going through puberty again. It sucks. I didn't like it the first time around.
Yeah.
Why do you feel you need hormones even now? Knowing that you're going through depression, knowing that it's stunning your hair growth, but you're not being able to get it all. Why are you doing that then?
I think now it's because I'm a little more addicted to it. Going to be honest,
it is.
I felt worse off of them than I do now. Than I do now being on them. So that's kind of a.
You felt worse when you weren't on them.
I feel worse now when I'm off of them. Like when I run out or something.
When you run out, and that's a psychological.
Psychological, right?
That's a psycho. Have you seen a therapist with anything, or did you just jump into all of this?
I kind of just jumped in. Okay. I didn't have a psychologist.
Well, when I first started,
even though I know one,
a friend of mine took me to the doctor, and they didn't do a lot of blood work back then. They tested, we were guinea pigs. Okay, if you start feeling this way, we're going to back off. Some of the stuff that they've come out with now is way much better, and then some of it's not. Like this doctor, if he didn't think you could actually look like a woman or couldn't blend into society, he wouldn't give you hormones. And you had to have electrolyte, and this was just before laser.
I have to go
You had to have your electrolysis done on your chest, your face, and your neck before they would even, back in the day, before they would even give you hormones.
Yeah.
And then they didn't want to start you on the hormones until you've lived at least a year off the hormones every day. And then they would start the hormones once you've lived over a year. And then before you could get any bottom surgery, that would be 3 years. And usually top surgery was within 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So, but I had a really good network of stuff. Now everyone just wants it now. And I just,
I don't believe in that now thing. You got to give it a little bit of a thing. I mean, it's an instant world. I mean, everybody wants it now. Everybody wants it yesterday. I mean, they want to plug and play life. And life is not plug and play.
Right.
It can be at times, but it's not always going to be this. And don't expect it to ever be that where you're going to be disappointed for the rest of your life. Right. So that's how
I know so many girls that
I get
went down the road. They've done all their hormones. I'm trying to find this brush. Let me get out of the way of the camera. They've done all their hormones. They've done all that. And they end up becoming, and I would tell them, if you like to use your dick and you like to come, don't do the shit. There's ways to get around it. And most of the girls I know my age or a little younger, I don't know too many my age really, they started at much later in life, but ones who have been in this lifestyle for as long as I've been, most of them never will touch another hormone again and wish they'd never done it because it's fucked everything up for them. I know girls that have had the bottom surgery and they're like, yeah, I'm glad I had that because now I'm an actual female.
But you're still lacking a uterus.
But right.
But then again, my second ex-wife's had.
They're the closest to being a female they can, and that's the way they look at it.
Right.
And so that's where I do agree with Trump. If you have your penis and your pre-op, and just goes back to the way it used to be, you were still considered male, but if you looked a certain way, and I don't want to use the word act because then it sounds like you're acting, but if you were a certain way and you looked a certain way, you were a lot more accepted, and they didn't look at you as so freaky, especially if you were really, really passable. Like they were always looking for Adam's apples, facial hair on the beard, how soft your skin was, all of that. Which females, it's more like
softer skin.
Like that. And now it's not like that. I see these freaky fucking people out there with full-on beards, glittered up, saying that they're trans, or women saying that they're transsexual, but dressed like they feel like they say they're men, but they're dressing like women still.
Right.
So it's weird. Look up for me. Open your eyes. I just want to see your bone in there.
Kind of reminds me of the whole song Lola for some reason.
Yeah,
it does.
It does, and we've been around. Some form of transgenderism, which covers all the spectrums, has been around forever.
That's been around forever.
But
he's that same ballot.
Even St. Paul, when he went to Greece, in some of his writings, he talked about the pretty boys with the heavily painted faces looking like women, but more like a circus clown, hanging out the windows trying to pick up men. They were prostitutes, And I remember the day that if you were trans or you were transitioning, if they knew what you were, they wouldn't hire you. If they found out what you were, they would fire you. And a lot of the girls came from broken homes.
Right.
A lot of girls didn't have the necessities, so they fell into prostituting. And the smart ones, they used that as an education, got in and got out as soon as they could, and started their businesses or whatever. I mean, I came from a great home, but I did the porn and all of that when I was younger. And do I regret some of it? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But if I was in the same situation, I'd probably go back and do the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there's a lot of things that would.
I don't see anything wrong with it personally, because if a woman can marry for money or she traps a man for getting pregnant, you know what? Him giving me a few $100s to blow his fucking dick, I don't find anything wrong with it.
I just wish I had a little more chance to explore it when I was younger. That's all. I mean, that
Prostitution?
No, I'm talking about opening up more. I was very closed. I was very closed and closed minded.
I'm just highlighting your.
Yeah, I
your
know exactly
eyes.
what you're doing. Yeah. So
And I'm doing it's a lot
I'm
more
talking about the
subtle than the
sexuality.
way
I'm just talking
you
about the sexuality.
than the way you do it. This is a lot more subtle than the way you usually
Yeah.
paint.
So,
So
yeah.
no, I get that. And what I've seen over the years too is that guys who never had that experience as a young guy jerking off with another guy or being what we call nasty, I see them as they get older, they end up with sexual identity issues. Like, I just go to any adult video store with all the married men in there wanting to get blown by guys.
Yeah.
And they can't even be bothered with the tranny in there or even the females.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
and
go back up
I
on
had
that.
even when I was younger. I mean, very young age. And then
So you're not really into the dick, or are you?
Actually,
honestly.
I've actually had some pretty good fantasies about that. So
Fantasies, but have you done it
once.
once? Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
I didn't know how to feel at the time. I think that was it.
I mean, it felt good.
It was good. It was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And that was the whole thing. And then, So there, yes, I admit, folks out there, I did suck dick. So hey,
Well, I think a lot of people have.
but they won't admit it.
Well,
Yeah.
the good ones don't really care one way or another.
And I think that's the point. I really I don't care. I really don't give a shit. I mean, that's what I mean. It took a while to not give a shit.
Right.
So, and I think that's a huge point when you can get to that point. It's like, fuck it, it is what it is, and you just keep going. And then if the opportunity presents itself, and then also if I feel attracted, by all means, it's not an issue. If I'm attracted to it. Like I said, I wish I had a little more of an opportunity.
Well, it's nothing.
A little bit more when I was younger.
It doesn't. What's youth have to do with it? Honestly, what's youth have to do with it? You're not dead.
No, I'm not dead.
Nothing's too late
working
until you're
either right
dead.
now anyway, so until I get off the hormones and have the electrolysis done, yes. And top surgery.
Mickey, I did electrolysis and laser. They both hurt. Laser is an instant that it hurts. I'm also certified in doing laser on people. Laser hurts right then and there. Electrolysis can hurt a day,
Sometimes
even a week after, depending on the person. However, the only permanent hair removal is laser. Is electrolysis. Laser is like waxing and on steroids. It will work, but it doesn't get every hair. Electrolysis is the only thing that does
I have
that.
too much gray for that. So.
Yeah, you have to go through electrolysis.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. If you have red, gray, blonde hair, it doesn't work as well. See how more subtle?
That's a lot more subtle than what I
A lot more subtle. And we're going to highlight a little more under your eye. It looks a lot better than, you have a lot less lines there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I had a lot of time and I've been talking,
Yeah, sorry.
and I could have done some of this stuff I'm talking about, but if I had a lot more time, I would have done like a whole facial on her. I have
what she's done, incidentally, very good. I'm going to say
I
recommend
up,
it. Also.
I have coming up where you can get a facial and a makeover all in the same day, and it's a thing that's going to go on after. Right now, I have until Saturday. You buy one facial, you get facial free. Okay, look up for me. This has a little bit of vitamin in it and it helps smooth out too. But this is basically a guard to help with any eyeshadows that may fall or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
These are wonderful. So,
because I'm constantly correcting that shit.
Yeah, and sometimes these. You just have to kind of push them down. It feels a little weird, I know.
Oh, yeah. Feels like it when you tape it.
Yeah. And notice I'm not taping you today.
Yes.
I mean, I could, but I think that's better for stage than it is.
I tape for stage predominantly. When I'm at work, I don't. It starts popping off right here. So.
It's all right. Just leave it alone. Don't mess with it too much. I work with it, with what it wants to do as I use it. So, okay. So now we're going to go in. Let me see what I want. I didn't pull out everything I wanted with you here. I don't know why I didn't do that. Well, I was running here late.
You were running late.
I was running late today. and I'm still trying to get my thoughts and everything together. I know I have it's probably in this last box, and you know it would be. Let me go get a pencil sharpener. Anyway, talk.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it is. I keep on saying it is what it is because I'm at that point in my life. It's like I care for a lot of things and a lot of people, and even in our community. But I also get pissed off a lot about my community. You know. So.
What's some of the things you get pissed off about in the community? Okay, I can't do this with this one glove.
This one's kind of fell, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, look up. Wait, just 1 second and look straight up.
Really?
And I'm not giving you a draggy look.
Okay.
You know.
I do.
Look up.
Actually,
no, you don't really have. Look up for me.
All right.
I already put your shadow on. I didn't really need to put this, but it helps with the. Look straight up. It helps with the pencil. I know that feels weird. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna blend.
You're right on the water line, I can tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, go on. What's some of the things that piss you off? Besides me?
You don't piss me off. Actually, the thing is, half the time I'm in my brain, like, how do I go with it? I don't know where to go. And I have to sit back and think about that, or I'll take a day or two and go like, okay, where did she come from this point of view? And then I have to kind of analyze it.
Look up for me.
Typical Virgo, analyze fucking everything. Is the curse of the Virgo. I swear to God.
Forget that. I'm just going back with a little bit of.
I like it. I see what you're doing with that. Yeah, I like that actually.
It's just softer for the day. Yeah. And the thing I do like about you is we've all been in those stages, fighting our beards and all of that.
Right.
But you get up every day and you do put a face on, and you do walk the talk. You don't just talk the walk. You walk the talk.
That's my thing.
That's the thing that bugs
down.
me.
Yes,
people can go, you're not walking the walk, or you're not talking the talk. That's not the expression. The expression is, do you talk the walk, or do you walk the talk?
Right.
Look up for me.
That's a good question. That's actually a very good question because it's kind of I walk the walk.
You walk the talk.
You walk the talk, yeah.
This is what you're saying. You're not walking the walk. You're walking the talk. You're walking what everyone talks about.
Right.
That's an easy way to remember that expression.
Right.
You're talking about the walk.
Right.
But you are living the talk by walking it.
By walking it, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes, I got you.
Look out for me.
I'm out there every day.
Yeah, and you have like a real job in a casino and everything.
Oh yeah, I work it. I dress accordingly. I don't.
That's what.
If you want to say it, I come to work in a female uniform. That's what I do. And every day I go home. It's the same way. I'm at home. I get myself comfortable. I mean, yes, I still wear jeans. I'm like that's like
a lot of women wear jeans.
I know, but I'm saying I'm always that.
But that's the other thing that a lot of the girls out there. And that's something I hope you picked up on from me is learning your body. Right. Like your girl hips start underneath your rib cage.
Right, exactly.
When you're on stage, you need the pad because you don't have body work done.
Right.
And I'm not saying a lot of padding. Look straight up. I forgot to.
Actually, for me, it's actually a lot of padding, but it's okay. I see where exactly what you did, and that's what I try to do. But at work, it's a little harder because of the.
Well, that's different, and you can wear looser clothing. And stuff at work. I mean, it's Vegas. It gets freaking hot. It's how I'm trying to find my black. Okay. I'd set it down. You know what? Let me just do this. I use the liquid eyeliner.
Look up, look down.
Now, look up. Now, look down. And don't open until I tell you. Hold your head up. Stay just like that. Don't open because I've got to go back and blend this and dry it. Okay, open. Look down. Yeah, girl, you got the roadmap going on here. I'll fix all that with lashes and stuff. It just happens. And I'm doing a line going up. If you're looking at, if you look in the
Yeah, I see
mirror,
that. Yeah, I
you
see
see
it.
your
the
eyeliner
eyeliner
is
going
going up,
Yeah.
and then the lashes are going to make you. I'm a big believer. Always wear lashes.
Yeah, I just didn't this morning. I was like, ugh.
Okay, close. I know this has been going on forever, so I want to finish you up and
Uh-huh.
finish our conversation up because people get bored with all this fucking bullshit too. Okay, open. See? And look
Oh, I
how
see,
wide your
I see
eyes
exactly
are.
what you're doing with that. Okay.
And look how wide your eyes are. And you see them because they're like a. And we can go underneath. I don't have my powder. Let me try this again. You can do like in your waterline up above. Stay just like that. Don't move. You can do like a black pencil, and that makes it look like you don't have liner on. But I like it kind of like this. I just think it's pretty. It stays just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And your hair.
Oh, we can refix the word.
Oh, we'll fix all of that. Don't worry about it. We're going to comb it all out and everything.
Yeah. I call my Shania wig.
Okay. So you need to, by taping up, it does look better,
Mhm.
but you're not always going to do that. So you need to thin these eyebrows out over here
Yeah.
more. Do you need to come in
I know I need to come in.
for waxing?
Again. Yeah.
I'm just kind of lightly going through them. I'm just putting something there because you got bangs.
Oh, God.
But your eyebrows, I didn't want to
Oh.
block them out like we do with some people, like for stage or guys that need to go back to being a guy.
Yeah.
This just kind of helps.
Yeah.
Let me get. I can't work with lashes with these gloves on, so I do pull those off. You don't have much of a lash, so I'm not mascaraing you.
Yeah,
You don't need that.
I was only using that, like say when you're putting on the bigger eyelashes for the stage, I'll go under the liner with the mascara just to not show the grayness so darn much from my own eyelash. What little I have on the eyelashes.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me find my comb. So, anything else you would like to share
Actually,
with us?
like I said, with my own experiences over the years, and believe me, a lot of hiding over the years too.
So, how much of this with your transitioning is sex?
Actually, none of it.
None of it.
I've been.
So you don't get turned on thinking you could be a lesbian when you're with a female.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'm all
I mean, when I was
about.
younger, I was all into that shit.
Well,
But gay sex in general, I always thought was kind of an interesting thing.
But what I'm saying is, okay, as we get older and then the hormones you've been on, of course, it's going to kill your sex drive.
Right.
But it was a sexual thing for you for a long time, like cross-dressing or wanting to be trans or a woman.
I never. The only time I would say I ever cross-dressed was I was on stage doing something. Just for the moment.
Okay.
Or one time a couple times at a costume party, I did it for the shits and giggles. I didn't really get anything off on it. I just did it because I thought it would be kind of fun and silly. Basically, I didn't really see it that way. And I mean, I would get like looks, and back in the Renfrew days, and they'll like, wait, that's Galileo, and I go like, yeah, it is. Hello. Although I got a ton of drinks, it was always great for that.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of funny. My second wife and I, a couple of times at the fairs, we'd actually gender bend it. She'd dress in my costume, and I'd try to get into hers pretty well. And, we would do the best we can with it and meander around. Now, I had a full-blown beard at the time. I mean, down to here. And
so this is what
it was definitely a cross-dressing experience, but I didn't do it as for sexual kicks, right?
So this is what I always say about transitioning on the outside. If you decide to do this. And first of all, the outside experience only lasts for a little while.
Exactly.
At some point, you're going to have everything you need to have done.
Mm.
However,
You bet your
what are
ass.
you going to do after you transition? How are you going to get back to society? What are you going to do in your normal day-to-day life? How is that going to help you in your day-to-day life? Other than you feeling better about yourself. Look up for me. Okay. You look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Little few lashes
Yeah, I got a few
goes
lashes.
a long way. Okay, let me do this. So I'm gonna kind of stain this.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have a lot of lips, so I'm not doing a lot for you for today.
Mhm.
Kind of keeping within what you have.
I think that was the whole thing. It was never, I would say in some cases, I would believe it was never sexual, although it kind of went that way occasionally. Like I said, when I had one gal, I swear to God, if I was, well, it didn't happen, almost happened. Somebody one time dressed in, technically drag on an after hours party in one of the groups I was with.
First, just a second. I know you like those cranberries and those red.
Actually, the darker stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna lighten this up because a dark lipsticks and red lipsticks can make you look harder at certain ages. So this is gonna get a little more blended.
So what can I do, Bill?
Just a second. Look at me. Like that, and I'm gonna correct some of that.
Okay.
This will help keep this on a little
Oh,
more.
I know that stuff. Yeah, I got it on that.
Just a little bit softer lipstick than what you usually wear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't move on me. Turn to me.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a fuller lip than what you normally do, just because you need a little something, but I didn't make it too crazy.
Mm.
And this is still in kind of that dark family you like, but a little softer.
Okay.
A little softer than what you
Yep.
usually do. Find this.
So yeah, I think because I know one gal says like, "Oh my God, I love you even more because you're now showing another side." And that got kind of nuts, so I didn't. That was the only other time I think I ever had sexual with it. I was like, "Oh, okay." It's because I felt comfortable. That was the whole point. I felt comfortable. That was it. I felt comfortable to run around in it for several hours. It's like no big deal.
Okay. Oh, also, what I'm going to do is close your face, your eyes. With these cute little bottles. It's primer.
I love it.
These are organic primers. I have them in the store.
I don't have it in the cute bottle.
Do you have an organic primer?
That's the one you got me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, flat for me, yeah.
It's just a little sheen. So your face is set.
Yeah.
It's softer than what you usually...
Yeah, it's a little softer, which is good because I need to learn how to do that a little bit more. Usually don't do bangs, but it's okay. Usually
you need to do bangs.
Okay, yes.
You have a Neanderthal head.
Yes, I do.
You need to do bangs. Okay? Girls in the old days used to do like silicone hair to round out our foreheads because males usually have more of a flatter. Females don't. That's why we contour through that. That's why you see queens on stage contouring through there. A lot of them don't understand why they're doing that. But that's actually the reasoning. And you're of that age, a bang's going to soften you and make you look better.
Okay.
So the big thing you need to do, you smoke still?
No, I haven't smoked in years.
Okay. You need to start getting, I wouldn't do a laser under my eye, but I would definitely get some vitamin stuff. The almond oil will help with all of that. But it will take like a little while for you to do, but you need to wear a bang.
Okay.
And don't do the cross dresser bang where it's like that.
Okay.
You know, if the hair is in your eyes, we cut the bang,
Mm-hmm. Which it is.
which we'll get to, but you need to also lift it a little.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not a lot, just a
Yeah,
little.
just a little.
So let's.
A little zhuzh.
So,
Get back to society. I think just being who I am. Number one. Number two.
why does it bother you, or not just you, but so many girls, and what other people have to say or think about you? Let me find my
I
scissors.
think it's
here.
because I got.
Do you think it's a
major-
mental thing? Because
Yes.
it's not just trans people.
It's everybody.
Or transgender. I mean, it's a lot of people.
I at a point in life I became from a very young age actually, and never got out of it and couldn't figure out how. And that was the people please all the time, pleasing them. It was asking for acceptance even when I didn't.
Well, you've been a good whore.
Yeah, basically, yes. And be honest, I love being on stage because I'm an attention whore. Be honest, who isn't? Yeah. So I mean, it's that. But anything, just saying, hey, you don't have to. I think I'm still a live and let live person. I guess that's my hippy dippy, and some of that upbringing came from mom, who's still kicking. She's still got it done.
How old is she now?
She's 83.
Oh, that's good.
That was the one on the phone who gave me
Yeah.
the color. Yes. So yeah, that was the whole thing, and so it's it's that comb is there. I just can't. Yeah. And I'm planning to go in to get my hair cut within the next 2 weeks. So
You might want to color it, the color of your wigs, so you can blend the sides into it.
Yeah,
No, don't hold on.
sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, you'll
It's gonna
Yeah.
move around while I'm doing all of this.
Wow, even better. Gee, I should have maybe waited on the number I did with Tina Turner. Do it this way. The hair actually looks better.
Well,
I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
I get lazy. That's why I like to wear wigs. I'm not cranking this way up like you're going on stage. It's just
it's enough.
normal. If you go to
right,
get your real hair done, they always want to style, blow dryer, lift
yeah,
it.
they want to
because it looks
blow
better.
and go. Yeah, the blow.
I
And go,
hate,
yeah.
I get sloppy, but I don't like that look. When I go out, I always try to dress nice.
Yeah.
When I'm working,
And I'm not looking. I didn't dress too well today. I just figured it was
You're fine, darling. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. So I mean,
but just running around, yeah. So yeah, been a little whore all my life. That's a good way of putting it. Okay. So I think a lot of it on society is just well, first of all, like I said, be who I am and just go out there and continue on. Quote unquote the good fight. Look, I was in the army. I know what that bullshit's like. I mean, they tear your ass down so they can. I always love the expression
build you back up.
and build you back up. I mean, but the whole thing is, I mean, they do tear you the fuck out of you. So I mean, we'll be honest with you.
So if you're an actual real dancer or you're a real actor with a good director, he's gonna fucking tear you apart.
Oh yeah, and you got to
get that out of you.
To get used to it because I mean, even when I've told you even about my doubts, even when I've had those moments, and
we all go through
all
those doubts,
and I think
sometimes
we don't think anybody else goes through it at the time.
Everyone goes through that. I don't care if you're trans or not trans, you're going through it. Don't try to hide. You have a pretty face, so don't try to hide your face behind your hair. Show it off.
You know who said that? I know who also said that. So I was like, okay, Angelique.
Yeah, she's 100% right.
Yeah, she is. So
I'm just. Is this one you got for me?
No, I bought this one. I got this one
because I had these wigs in the store forever.
No, it's the other one. I kind of call my minus the white.
So the problem with drag queens, they want to take a trans person, and it's not the amount of makeup you have on; it's about the definition.
Right.
But they kind of look at I don't know. They're just as bad as females. Females want you to look really nice, but then, like Dolly Parton said, she's had more females put her down than anyone else.
Right, it's true.
Because if you look a certain way, you know,
She thought that hoochie coochie girls were pretty.
well, they are,
They are.
but she does everything right.
Right.
You know, nowadays she doesn't wear that much makeup compared to everyone else.
Oh yeah.
But back in the day, she sure did.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. I remember when I first heard her when she did what was it? Love is like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh
on
God,
her
I
show.
remember that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
it. I
on
mean,
her
yeah, I
show,
was like a
the
little
Dolly
kid.
Show.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember watching that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me spray you one more time.
Okay.
And I think that looks.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I don't wear this wig to work. I wear the other one.
You
The
should.
The one I wore it yesterday, just because I wanted to change it up a little bit. I was just kind of getting tired.
Do you? I have this question because I asked my roommate this, and she kind of changed on it after I asked her this. You don't tell people you identify as trans or you identify as a woman, do you? Or do you tell people you're trans? Like at work and all of that?
They know.
I didn't ask that.
Yeah.
Do you tell them?
Not always.
Not always. Why do you feel like, unless someone's sleeping with you, they even need to know?
That's true. That's what I say.
That's the way I look at
That's
it.
why I say
It's no one's business. I mean, some people.
I mean, I've gotten people, well, quote unquote, misgender me, or do they?
Did they really misgender you because
Oh,
you
I
have a
think-
penis?
That's what I'm saying. Or did they?
I mean-
See, I stopped right there for a reason. I said,
Because
or
a
did they?
female is an adult, is an adult,
Right.
I'm saying that a female is the opposite of a male.
Right.
Period.
Period. Right.
And they have different chromosomes. They have different all of that. And I kind of look at it as a cake mix. And we throw a bunch of ingredients in and shake it around. It's still not a homemade cake. But this is the thing. Be proud of who you are. You don't have to go around telling everyone what you are, but be proud. Don't be embarrassed about it.
I think a lot of times from what I've seen, we do that to constantly remind ourselves who we are.
We have
And
that
it's
fucking craziness in our
face.
thing. No one needs to know, but at the same time, if someone asks, you should be able to tell them without being embarrassed about what you are, because I mean that's just my outlook.
I mean, but that was the whole point. I said the whole misgendering thing. I said, well, is it? And that's why I stopped when you interrupted me on that one. I was like, or is it? I get it all the time. I say again, it's
is it more? No, okay. I'm gonna sit here and do this because I think you look nice, and then I'm gonna take a couple of pictures of you, and then we're gonna be done. How long have I been going? Way too fucking long. Hour and 16 minutes. Not as long as Joe Rogan. It's a joke. I'll never be him. I love watching all that stuff. So I'm not trying. Once again, I'm not trying to be
I know.
hateful, but this goes to a lot of girls out there when they're misgendered.
Yeah.
You can. So my friend Kelly King, she used to impersonate Dolly. She was the first Dolly Parton impersonator in the country. She worked with us in our show. She was a lot like you. She was trans, but she didn't really have a lot of body work done. She died of sclerosis of the liver, the great late Kelly King.
Yeah.
And she'd become a very bitter person. And she was my roommate for a little while. Some of it understood, her mother, all of that. But she used to say, she said that when we were walking down Bourbon Street, she goes, girl, just tone down your cheeks. This was the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
She goes, they're going to man and motherfucker everyone walking down the street trying to get a reaction and to see who jumps and gets angry, because that's usually the sign of what they are and who they are. She goes, ignore them and walk past them, and then it leaves them more confused than anything.
Exactly.
But the thing she brought to my attention is she goes, the reason most of the girls get so clogged isn't makeup, isn't even the way they dress. Well, some of it's the way they dress when they're our age and try to look like a 25-year-old hooker. It doesn't always work. But unless you're a prostitute, then it works. But I'm talking about day to day. They don't keep their appearance up. Like they always have this 5 o'clock shadow you see, and they never want to put makeup on. But she says, let's put that aside. She goes, most of the time these girls get clogged because of their attitude. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Because you lived as a male for so long that sometimes you revert back to some of that?
Yes.
Not thinking?
Yeah, and we do it all the time.
Because, okay, so my really good friend...
Because you told me, stop acting so much. And you've even told me that. So going, yeah, she's right. Okay, I have to stop myself.
A really good friend of mine, Marcy Marcel out in New Orleans, she's dead now. God, I got stories about her. Y'all look a lot alike. I can show you a picture. Y'all look a lot alike. and her boy name was Marco back in the day. She's a New Orleans legend. Amazing. She kept me working. Um, she would be more what the kids nowadays would call non-binary, but she was Italian through and through.
Right.
She was a yak from that part of New Orleans that we, hi yeah, baby, hi
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. And she was always dressed like Liza Minnelli. She looked a lot like Liza. And she did Judy Garland, Liza. She did a lot of the old stuff. And my favorite song was by Irma Thomas, Done Got Over. She'd always do that during Mardi Gras and throw the napkins up in the air and everything. And she always had like one of those, what I call the golfer hat on that was popular in the 70s. Big loose tunic shirt on. And she was little, like not tiny, but she was like a little bit shorter than you, but y'all's faces were similar. Because Italians have that look about them.
Yeah, we do.
They do, and they're some of the most beautiful women in the world. She didn't have a masculine face. She didn't have a feminine face, but she wore makeup every day. And I mean, we all looked at her as a girl, and she went out in the world, and they looked at her as a girl. But she never really looked at herself as male or female. And she was just Marcy, and we all accepted her for that. And she was, a lot of men found her attractive even as she got older. She lived in the past a lot. But I loved the way she dressed because it was truly like you assumed she was a female, but she never said she was.
Right.
It's just kind of like, I'm Marcy. Who are you? Type thing.
I think that's kind of where I want to go with it. I think
it's
that's the way I want to go with myself. It's like,
but she was very, she wore a little short wig a lot. She had long hair, and she wasn't balding or anything like that. She was like me, lazy. We just love to wear wigs because we're lazy, and it makes you look younger and can do a lot for you. But I just think about the things that she taught me, and she goes, honey, you're never going to be a female, and why would you want to be? They bleed once a month and they don't fucking die. And I used to laugh when she would say that. She goes, just be you. Enjoy that. Embrace your transsexuality. Embrace your gayness, because it's all.
It's all of it.
Because if you have sex with a male and you have a penis, it's going to be homosexual. If you have sex with a female and you have a penis, it's heterosexual. A sex change, the way she looked at it and the way a lot of the girls was, yeah, they're women, but really to get down to it, they were eunuchs because most of them didn't want sex after they had it. It's just, and it's come a long ways. And I'm not saying don't get that if that's what makes you happy. Just be informed. But there's so much in our community that's not necessarily changed for the better. And then there's a lot of stuff in our community that's changed for the better.
Yeah.
And I don't think Trump is against us. I'm still trying to figure out what rights is he taking from us. He's been talking about the children. The children are the ones we need to protect from irreversible surgeries. And if you start a testosterone blocker, they still don't know. I'm even though I've been off hormones all of these years, it still affected me, and it's caused medical issues. So why would we want that with a child? And if you truly need to take a pill or a shot to make you into something, perhaps you're not that to begin with.
That's true.
And with the way science is now, with the laser, the electrolysis, the resurfacing, the implants, all of that, you need just a little bit of fat, not a lot, but a little bit of fat somewhere to get all that done, and you're going to look really good, and it's a lot safer. Once again, I'm not against that. I'm saying be informed on it, because no one can make you feminine. Either you are or you aren't.
Right.
And part of the attraction, I think, with people who are attracted to us is that whole yin and yang. That we have both of that, because the most beautiful models in the world, a lot of them with no makeup on, look like men.
Truly.
They truly look like men.
Truly, yeah.
I mean, look at Brooke Shields. I still think she's beautiful, but girl, she pulled that makeup off. Those eyebrows, Miss Brooke Shields, if you ever watch this stuff, you need to do something with those eyebrows at your age. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
No, but I agree with it.
But this is more, I'm Marcy, I'm so sorry. This is Antoinette. I want to thank you for joining. I know we went way over, but we had a lot, and we still didn't answer everything.
No,
but maybe it gave some more insight within our community, and not just the radicals, but the people that's more middle of the road. Some that lean a little more conservative and some that lean a little
bit
more left,
yeah.
but where we're both really middle of the
Middle of
road.
Right.
I mean, we have more in common than uncommon. And you heard, okay, so Miss Cece is moving back to Hawaii.
Yes, I do. I heard
She's the
that.
traininglicious girl in our show. She's
Yeah,
tiny and
she's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
She's very
Right.
beautiful, and we're gonna miss her. But what she doesn't know, and she doesn't watch this. We're gonna throw a big party for her the week before she leaves. So, my show's every Thursday. I'm very dirty and raunchy, very John Rickles and Joan Rivers on stage at
Love
times.
it. That's what I
It's
love
like
about you.
what I tell about her.
Oh yeah, she ripped
started calling me mama.
You know, so don't do that anymore.
No, because I broke you fucking bitch. So I started saying, ladies and gentlemen, she's the tranny granny. She's
True.
really, I'm older than her. She just looks older. So fuck you, bitch. She stopped doing that.
That's true.
I was like, you bitch.
Yeah.
But it is that type of show. It is underground, old fashioned. It's not always all drag.
No.
It's a little bit of everything. So come out. It's every Thursday at 9:30. This May, Memorial Day weekend, our rodeo, Bighorn Rodeo, is the 23rd, 4th, and 5th.
Right.
The big show's on the 24th with the fabulous Kenneth Blake and Stephen Wayne. And we also have Prada. And she does Selena. Stephen does Cher. Kenneth does Dolly and Madonna, but he's doing Dolly in the show because it's our rodeo show. But we're doing other things. We also have Josie Cavallari here in Vegas, who is Miss Latin Pride. And she's like the goddess of the Latin community. I think Prada is too. Prada does Selena, and she's amazing. And we also have Scarlett Allen, who's going to be impersonating Winona. I will be doing Patsy Cline and Reba. And who else do we have in the... Oh, we also have a Beyonce. Oh, girl, you can tell it's a gay rodeo because we got Beyonce doing country music. But anyway, I just want to fill that in. I hope you have a great day. Thank y'all so much.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry.